Have you ever felt this sense of shame or this sense of guilt or like a pit in your stomach because you fell off from, accomplishing a goal that you wanted to achieve? And today we're going to talk about the fall off, especially while you're on the process of blooming. My name is Wesley, this is Trio, and this is a safe space for you to heal, grow, and step into your blooming season. And if you are new here, you can check out some of our previous videos and we'll go into depth about what it means to bloom. But today I just wanted to have a vulnerable discussion about falling off, being inconsistent, and how to get your fire back under you to try again. So if you look at my channel, you'll see the last time I posted, which maybe is in January or February, and now I'm posting this video, should be in May, but I'm creating it at the end of April. So what happened was, and what are you doing here again? So the fall off, which happens to be where somebody just stops going to the gym, or somebody just stops improving upon a skill that they wanted to learn. The fall off occurs as like a literal when you fell and you fall flat on your face. It doesn't have to be a straight F, but something that you intended to do and you failed to do, that is the fall off. And back then, in February or January, when I stopped posting, I had a moment that, like a self-reflective moment, and I was really trying to figure out, what am I doing? Do I like what I'm posting? Or the truth of the matter was, I was pretty much attacking myself and asking myself, like, do you really want it? Like, where's your hustle? Why are you stopping? But conversations like that caused me to freeze. So I became stagnant and I tried to figure out what did I need to do? What was wrong? Why wasn't I posting? Have you ever been so self-reflective that it has caused you to procrastinate even more? Well, yes, that is what occurred at the beginning of the fall off process. Now, that was a really big part of why I stopped posting. I was just having these reflective moments. I kind of froze because I'm like, the content isn't that good, and I don't even know what to post. Like, my brain started freezing, my body started freezing, everything started freezing. And then I also have a job, so I wasn't making it a priority. I wasn't being intentional with my time and creating the systems that I needed to actually create the videos. And then I was prioritizing work and fitness, and of course I'm a downtime girl, so I was making sure that I get rest and be in bed by 9 o'clock and all of these extra things, making sure I cook, everything but creating the videos, which I feel like was my purpose and still do feel like it's my calling, and yet I was failing to prioritize it. So that was a really big reason for the fall off, and I just want to encourage you to let you know that throughout the process of blooming, throughout the process of changing, throughout the process of transformation, it won't be perfect, it won't be pretty, and it won't be overnight. So after I kind of was in that stuck, frozen stage, my father passed away, and I had a pretty big loss. Basically, my father passed away in March, and it was not something I was expecting. It was very much out of the blue, and it caused me to kind of lose hope, kind of lose this energy that I had. I was lethargic, very lethargic, sluggish, questioning a lot of things, questioning what it is that I wanted to do. But honestly, on the opposite side of that, I felt even more encouraged to continue posting, to continue trying to get Trio out there, to, continue on this calling and this purpose that I feel so deeply. But the action just wasn't taking place. Now, I did lose my dad, but then a few years ago, close to 4 years ago, I lost my brother. And before that, I had lost my cousin, I lost my great grandma, I lost my best friend. I lost a lot of people in this year, in this decade of being 20. I'm in the process of getting ready to turn 30. And so from March until now, I've just been trying to, process all of the changes and all of the things that can affect, somebody's progress when they're going through so much loss. So I thought that, we're all going to go through a process of fall off, whether it's through questioning ourselves, if you're that kind of person, if you're a person who second thinks or overthinks, if you're a person who may have doubt, you're going to probably experience a fall off. If you're someone who's experiencing external factors outside of you that causes emotional, trauma, emotional instability, then you're most likely going to fall off. But there's this story in the Bible, and this is what caused me to kind of get back up. And then I've been hearing so much on my like sermons and things of that nature of like getting back up even through the time of grief. And so the story in the Bible goes, Jesus' cousin dies, John the Baptist, and he took some time. He tried to go away by himself, and he wept, and he was very sad, very disappointed. He was just in a grief mode. And still, when people came up to him for healing, when people came up to him for miracles, his compassion for them was so overwhelming. His calling that God placed in his heart was so intense. It was so, it was right there in his face. Like, this is what he was called to do, that he gave himself that time to still heal those people and to still be who God called him to be. So, talking about inconsistency and the fall off today, I want to encourage you, and I want to remind you, and I want to be an example that we too can get back up. We too, me and you, can still be who God has called us to be. We can still exercise our faith, and we can still try again. So, of course, my idea of what really occurred initially before grief and before those major transitions happened in my life was I didn't have the right systems. I didn't create the right systems. That's the first thing. Number two, I wasn't intentional with my time. I was focusing on and prioritizing other things more. And number three, I was just questioning myself. I was just putting myself in a corner and saying, do you even want it? Like, is this even what you want? Are you comfortable being who you are? Are you comfortable being in that space, in that place, and who you are? And that caused me to freeze. And I just want to tell you right now, to answer that question of are you content with being where you are now, the true answer to it is understanding and knowing your why. Now, I know you hear this a lot, but I didn't really understand it until very recently, understanding my why behind posting these videos. See, my why is not to be the best YouTuber. My why is not for a profit. My why is not to have perfect videos or anything of that nature, but my why is to encourage anybody on the other side of this camera that you are loved by God, that you are special, and that you are capable of doing and being your best version, your best version, being your best version, and living in the full expression of your life. That is my why. Whether you watch this video or not, I'm still going to create these videos because that is the answer to me being the best version of myself and me living out the full expression of myself. So once you figure out your why, when you hear questions that make you second guess yourself, all of that's going to go out the way. You really have to understand that it's not that you don't want it enough. It's not that you're comfortable with the lesser version of you, the version that lacks self-discipline and is inconsistent. It's just that we have to create the right systems to actually make a change in our lives, which is the fix to the fall off. So I came up with the fix just thinking about what can I do to actually improve my consistency to living out this blooming season. And the first one is we need to review, you and I, what's working and change what's not. So another thing you have to understand about this whole process is that you can't be too hard, because if you attach profit to it, if you attach perfection to it, if you attach people to it, like, you know, validation from other people, then if you're like me, you might get stuck. You might freeze because you can't really see the other side of that until you get to the other side. So you need a deeper why. And I think something that you need to understand that is, if you are showing up right now, if you are getting back up, if you are trying again, then that's enough. That's enough. Like, that's enough. You just have to keep telling yourself to try again, do it again, get back to it, you know? So review what's working and change what's not. How this will look for me personally is I'll go back and see what my other videos were like, and then I'll see what was working and what was not. So initially what caused that fall off is I felt like I wasn't putting out quality content because I didn't have the system in place. Meaning I was writing my outline, I probably wasn't practicing as much, but then with the goal of me trying to produce a video every week, I didn't have enough time to actually edit the video. Therefore, I thought the quality of my video was actually not as good as I wanted it to be. So I kind of got stuck because where's the system? Where's the time? And I don't even know where to put the effort in, right? Figure out what's working and change what's not. So what was working was I didn't know how, I have this whole idea, the outlines are kind of just following one after another. I got that part. What wasn't working was the fact that I was not prioritizing the goal of creating these videos. So that is one of the things that I'm going to change. Next thing is you have to let go of the old version of yourself. I know that sounds easier said than done, and it sounds esoteric. Yeah, let's just go with that. It just sounds a little bit airy. Like, what does that even mean? And to be quite honest, the old version is the girl who sleeps in when she shouldn't, the one who stays up past her bedtime, the one who looks to watch TV and not edit the video or go create the video. This is all about me. But you too, you have to figure out, who is that old version? Is she the one that is not going to the gym, who is overeating, who is literally doom scrolling when you know you shouldn't be doing that? The old version of you is all those feelings, like that gut wrenching, like that feeling. Yeah, you gotta let that go. And the best way to let go of your old version is to execute. Execute on what the new version would like to do. You have to. Give it a try. You have to. Number 3, you have to show up until you get it right. Yeah, this is what building reps is about. There's this book that I was reading, and I'm going to put a picture of it right here. There's a book that I love, and if you're on this journey of blooming, this is something I truly recommend. It is so good. But there's a metaphorical example of what it means to actually practice and enhance your craft, right? So basically there's 4 types of horses. There's a really good horse, there's an okay horse, there's a bad horse, and there's a poor horse. The great horse, I'm paraphrasing and doing it my way, but the good horse, they don't have to be whipped to listen to the rider, right? The okay horse, they just have to see that whip is about to come up, and they're gonna listen to the rider. All right. Then the the bad horse is, once they get like a little whip, they'll listen to the rider. Okay. And then the poor horse, yeah, that one you have to beat it. You have to beat it in order for it to listen to the rider. All right. So the idea about these 4 horses is that we look for perfection. We look for that perfect horse, the good horse, because we want it to be easy and smooth. But the truth of the matter of your journey is that you might have to whip your horse. You might have to get yourself into shape. And it's not really the goal. We won't exit this out. I really don't know, but I think that's what it is. You have to get yourself into shape in order to be who you want to be. If something came easy to you, then it wouldn't feel worthwhile. It wouldn't feel like this is something that is worth my time. Like I really put that work in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Read the book. All right. Number 4, we have to let the seed take root. So if you're new here, at the beginning of this journey, I'm going to ask you that so many times if you're new here. At the beginning of this journey, we decided on one seed that we wanted to plant and sow for this year. For me, mine was posting weekly YouTube videos, right? We have to let that seed is the goal that's going to actually transform your life, take root into our mind. And it has taken root for me. That's why I'm up here again trying. Every moment that I'm not creating, I feel like I should be creating. Every moment that I'm not trying, I feel like I should be trying. And that is that gut-wrenching feeling of failure when I'm not trying, okay? So if you're feeling that, we gotta just understand that we have to let the seed take root. And we know it has taken root when we feel that sense of dread because we know we're not doing what we're supposed to do. So it has taken root if you're there. But let it take root into your mind. Let's go into the germination stage of blooming. So there's 6 stages of blooming, and one is the stage of seeding, which we have talked about, and I've created a few videos on that. And now we're entering into the germination stage. So it's the process of blooming when the seed is literally taking root. The radicle, which is the embryonic root, emerges and anchors the plant so that it can start receiving the nutrients and water. Okay, and so to translate this for us, at this point, our seed has taken root or should be taking root. And in order for it to receive the nutrients, we have to focus on getting our mind right, getting our actions right, and our priorities. And I like to think of it in a metaphorical way of like our mind being the soil, right? Our actions being the water. Our priorities being the oxygen that the plant needs, right? We have to prioritize our seed. And then consistency. Yes, consistency is the sunlight. It's the light that the plant needs to actually grow and receive its energy. Now, I love that consistency is the sun in the metaphor because sometimes the sun not going to always come out or the light isn't going to always be the brightest. And that seed can still sprout. It won't sprout as strong, but it can still sprout. Okay? Ooh, I love that. So, we're going to be talking in the next few videos about everything about germination. How do we get our mind right? How do we get our discipline correct? And how do we actually become consistent? Our environment needs to be set up for success to benefit this goal. And now we're going to be focusing on systems and consistency and self-discipline. In this process of germination, think of it as like an awakening. So we're cracking open. The whole process of us cracking open or the seed cracking open is going to be discomfort. It's going to be stretching. It's going to be, very hard situations and circumstances coming our way, because that is what's going to break us and actually have us shift our minds so that old version of us could get out. You know what I'm saying? So this is where obedience before clarity comes into place. This is where obedience before perfection takes place, right? Though I may not like this video of how well I talked, how well I articulated my thoughts, because I'm kind of free talking right now. If this video is edited to the best, it does not matter. What we're doing here is being obedient before perfection, before clarity. It's messy right now. So I want to leave you with some encouragement, and I want to leave you with some good Bible verses. Understanding that reading the word is like nourishment for us on this blooming season. Okay, it's feeding us and it's watering us and is doing all of the stuff that we need. So I have some good verses for you. So Proverbs 24:16. For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. But the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. Remember, get back up. Get back to it. Execute. Galatians 6:9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Okay, these are 2 verses that you can write on a sticky note. You can create some kind of anything you want to create just to remember it, right? I want to let you know that I plan to continue put the effort into trying to create weekly YouTube videos and coming on here and just expressing myself and encouraging you to express yours. I just want to achieve my goals as I encourage you to achieve yours. If this video resonated with you, please leave a comment down below or like the video and share it with anyone that you feel it may help. Next week, we're going to be talking about setting up your environment for success. So I look forward to sharing those tips and tricks with you and learning a little bit more myself. Until next time, I hope you have a beautiful evening or day. And let's continue to glow, grow, and glorify God.